Good morning. Can you hear me? हेलो। अरे मेरी आवाज आ रही है क्या आपको?
यस सर।
ओके, चलो स्टार्ट करते फिर क्लास। आई विल शेयर द स्क्रीन विथ यू. So in the last class we were discussing about the layout of a hydraulic brake system, where we have seen that you got to have the master cylinder, and then we had a short there was one question which was asked to me, sir, is there any different kinds of fluid which we have to use? So I just wanted to share with you that generally the fluid which is used for the hydraulic brake is the brake fluid must have SAE and DOT specification. DOT is Department of Transportation. Okay, but usually this Department of Transportation, they give the specification from the point of view of safety. That is first thing, and second, there should not be any evaporative emissions, because the emissions which are coming out from the vehicle, they are of two types. One is the tailpipe emission and the other one is the evaporative kind of emissions. So from that point of view, they keep an eye on the fluid which is used in the brake system or in complete vehicle. Even for engine oil, you have got this specification. Okay, so it should the viscosity should be such that it should flow at all the temperatures. That means basically this factor will come into picture when the temperatures are below 0 degrees centigrade. So this is for the cold region. Then the lubrication, that means it should not be too, like, let us say, it should not have the viscosity too low and it should not have the viscosity too high, because in both the cases there is going to be some kind of lag or some kind of power loss, or you can say some kind of extra pressure which may be put it onto the system. Then non-corrosive, this one can understand. Low freezing is also, we have discussed earlier. Then water tolerant, this is basically the issue which is the critical issue. It says that it is the brake fluid is hydroscopic, which means that over a period of time it absorbs water, which lowers its boiling point. Should the fluid boil, air would form in the hydraulic system, resulting in the brake failure. That means if you do not maintain the continuity of the fluid and in between there is the air bubble which are trapped, then in that case the brake pressure which is applied by the driver may not get transferred uniformly, and then high boiling point remains liquid at high temperature. That means there should not be any you can say deep in the boiling point temperature. So this is the idea on which the hydraulic fluid should work. Now let us come to the layout system. We have seen this as the layout system. Now today we are going to have the layout of the pneumatic brake system. So I will draw the layout of the pneumatic brake system because yesterday we have drawn it for the hydraulic brake system. So today we will draw it for pneumatic brake system. So what do you expect in pneumatic brake system? So you can say block diagram of pneumatic brake system. The moment we say that the pneumatic, we understand that it is basically the air. So fluid used is basically air in this kind of system. So I'm going to draw. See, when we say that we want to transfer the motion, then we have to have the air compressor. Then after air compressor, there is some device. I will not name it. Let us check whether you know that device or not, because here you have to use the common sense of mechanical engineering. Then there is another device which you usually see this device when you go to the fuel station for filling of the air pressure in tire. So this is the, can say that the pressure gauge is attached here. So if you can name it, nothing like it. So this is pressure gauge. After that, there is a connection which is given to one component. Let us try to see if we can able to देखते हैं कि आप इसको पहचान पाते हैं कि नहीं. ये न्यूमैटिक ब्रेक सिस्टम के, so here the line is, the supply is given to, let us say, the actuator. So this you can say that कि ये सर्किट को जा रहा है, ब्रेक सर्किट. ओके, सो इसको ये कनेक्ट किया हुआ है. So this is rear brake. These are the front brakes. This is nothing but your brake wall. This compressor is driven by Okay. I just want from you people that what are these two components? This component. What is this component and this component? Where I have made the dot or where I am putting the, you can say, arrow or the pointer. What is this component and what is this component? सर थोड़ा आपको जनरलाइज्ड मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग का नॉलेज रहना चाहिए, तो सर कॉमन सेंस से बताइए कि क्या रहेगा. वॉल एयर रिजर्वायर. ओके, तो सर एक तो करेक्ट है, ये एयर रिजर्वायर है. व्हाई यू रिक्वायर द एयर रिजर्वायर? Saurabh, you are right. First one is compressor, second one is the whatever second dot is there. I have said this is air reservoir. Why you require air reservoir? To store and maintain the pressure. Why you require to maintain and store the air at under pressure? Sir, use your common sense. Think as if you are a designer of this system. What about others? Are they sleeping? सर बाकी लोग सोए हुए हैं क्या? प्लीज स्पीक आउट. अनलेस यू स्पीक आउट, आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू मूव अहेड. Evaporator, air filter. Okay. Saurav has given answer. Prajwal. What about others? सिर्फ 5-10 लोग ही देते हैं सर आंसर, बाकी के लोग सोए हुए रहते हैं. See, we keep the log of all the chats which are shared here. So all of you are requested to participate in the class. Yesterday we did the analysis and we came to know that only selected people they give the answer. Rest others they sleep in the class. Divesh, why you are late? Please answer. Divesh.
Yes, sir.
What is the issue? Internet issue?
No, sir, I was late.
Why, sir?
Sir, I lost the track of time. My fault.
What track you lost?
I woke up late. My fault.
Okay, I thought that it's a net issue. So others, please participate. Sir, please, I told you so many times to the students that every log is recorded on the cloud. So please be careful. Okay. So very only few selected people they answer, they interact. Rest all they sleep. This is the class of almost 70 students. And at a time there will not be more than, let us say, 60 or 65 students. So if there are only 61 participants are there, 9 students are absent in the class. Okay, so out of that only 5 or 6 they answer, rest all they sleep. So if you keep on doing that, please note that there is marks on the teacher's assessment. So please be careful. Because then it is easy for me to know that who has participated, who has joined when, who is leaving at what time. So I may suddenly say that there will be marks on the attendance. So please be careful. So this is basically this particular part is oil separator. Why you require oil separator? Because in compressor the lubrication is provided to the piston ring and the cylinder, inside surface, so that there should not be any metal to metal contact. So in that particular process, the oil traces may come along with the air, and you require to separate that, otherwise it will go into the system, and it may have the corrosive effect on the ball, it may have corrosive effect on the cylinders which are used for actuation of the brakes at the front and rear. Okay, that is basically the oil separator. So now the compressed air is coming from the air compressor. It is getting it is getting filtered in oil separator. Usually this unit is called as a FRL, that means filter, regulator and separator unit. So this is FRL unit, which is used in the most of the pneumatic system. But here there is no need of regulation the air pressure, because the pneumatic valve is there. So you can have the little bit of lubrication if required in the circuit. Otherwise, you need to filter out the oil droplets from the air and allow the air to get deposited in the air reservoir under some pressure P, so that when now suppose you run the vehicle and you park the vehicle, then on the when you again start the vehicle, then the compressor will generate the air under pressure, then it will get filtered, then it will move to the circuit. By that time the required pressure may not be reached, and that may cause that the brakes may not work when you drive the initially if there is no air reservoir. So air reservoir is must, because you need to have the supply of the compressed air or air under pressure every time, whether you start the engine or if you are not starting the engine at all. Okay, so such kind of requirement has to be met, and that is why you have to have the air under pressure, and that is why it is air reservoir is used. Now then there is a brake valve. Brake valve will control the, so there are three types of valve. One is flow control valve, the other one is direction control valve, and the third one is the pressure control valve. So this valve consists of the pressure control valve along with the controlling the direction of the flow. So the appropriate quantity of the air is given or inducted to the actuator of the brake system, and that is how you actuate the brake. So this is basically the pneumatic brake system which is used in most of the automobile engineering, most of the automotive systems or vehicle. Usually, see this system or pneumatic brakes, I can say, are mandatory to be used on buses and trucks. Government has made it mandatory. So when we were discussing the classification of the brakes, at that time I told you that the buses are very rarely fitted with the hydraulic brake, which was in the earlier days. But now government, by issuing the notification, it says that the pneumatic system has to be used on all buses and trucks which are plying on the road in India. So if you stop by a signal and if you see that the truck is stopped by your side, then just have the look at the chassis of the truck. You will find that there is some small cylinder which is fitted, that is, and on that particular reservoir there it is painted with the white color air tank, and there is some floral design on that particular tank. So make sure that it is nothing but the air reservoir. So I will show you why government has made this thing compulsory to be used on the buses. So this is, I'm going to share the PPT with you, don't worry. So this is the slide which will give you the idea regarding, see, if you read this, it says that why pneumatic brake system. As the load over light vehicle and heavy vehicle varies, the brake force required to stop the heavy vehicle is far more than light vehicle. So the heavy vehicles should be equipped with braking system that can provide the enough brake force that can stop or decelerate the vehicle. So this is the first point. So whether it is the new hydraulics or pneumatic brakes, this has to be made. So decelerate or stop the vehicle. For lightweight vehicles, hydraulic brakes provide more than enough brake force to stop or decelerate the vehicle due to its short dimension. But when it comes to the heavy vehicle, which are large in size, the effectiveness of hydraulic brake is the great concern. So the second point is the effectiveness of the hydraulic brake is saying that it's a great concern. As the fluid is used to press the piston in hydraulic braking system, the safety is the great concern. Again, they are reiterating that safety is a great concern. As if there is any leak in the components of hydraulic system, the efficiency of braking is readily reduced or even lost completely. Because please note that the hydraulic system you cannot top up immediately. Okay, you have to mechanically fill the hydraulic fluid. Since air is always available, so the brake failure due to leakage is less concern in the air braking system. Please note that the if at all there is any leakage of the air, that can be always be compensated because air is abundantly available. The components, master cylinder, brake line, etc., size of the hydraulic brake system increases with the increase in the size of the vehicle, which it in turn makes it very complex to install, which is not a problem with the air brake system. So pneumatic system, you don't have the problem, but the problem is you have to have the engine, powerful engine, so that it can drive the compressor. Due to safety measures like brake failure and efficiency, government has made it compulsory. Please note that, as I told you, mandatory for heavy vehicles like buses and trucks to use the air brake system. So this is basically the last point, which says that considering this concern, the concern for the hydraulic system is size, the effectiveness of the brake system, and leakage. So concern with the pneumatic hydraulic brake systems are, sorry, एक minute. So concerns with hydraulic brake systems are: the first one is the effectiveness for a heavy vehicle, the second is size of system components, and the third one is leakage of hydraulic fluid, which is oil. So because of this, the government has made it compulsory to use the pneumatic brake system in the heavy duty vehicles. So is there any concern about the pneumatic system, how it works?